Hello, everyone. This is the California Freedom Alliance with your host, Alexander Horat. Today, I'm going to be talking about something very important, and that is homelessness in Tuolumne County and how Tuolumne County is actually aiding and making homelessness a bigger problem by having the homeless department. So, I'm going to share my screen to explain what I'm talking about. So, the more welfare money you give and the more benefits you give to people who can work, the more people are going to be homeless and not work if they get free food, free housing, free water. I believe, people who can't work, who have, a really major mental disability or have some physical disability should get government welfare. The people who actually need it, like really elderly people who can't work, for instance. But instead, they're giving it to people who could work. And, they buy a lot of really bad things with that money and other things as well. So I'm just going to share the screen. Number of homelessness people per 10,000 residents on one night in January 2018. So this shows the homeless rate, in the country per 10,000 people. So California has the largest amount of homeless people, but New York has a higher percentage rate. So this is the chart. This shows where the homeless people live. Hawaii is really high. Alaska is somewhat high. That's really the only more conservative type state that's really on here. Because what I'm going to show you is that it appears that all the liberal states in general have higher homelessness rates. We see California has one of the highest. New York, has the highest, even higher than Hawaii. So, and then we see Florida, which is a very good comparable to New York because they have relatively the same populations. And New York spends about 3 times more on welfare than Florida does, and they also have a way bigger state government. So I believe welfare spending and homelessness are inversely coordinated, in my opinion, because one of the arguments that some of the county board of supervisors have been saying is that, oh, it's because, California's housing market is so hot and, so high. That's why there's so many people are homeless. But Florida has probably as hot housing market as California, maybe even a little bit hotter, and they have a much lower homelessness rate. So that's not true, in my opinion. I think it's the more welfare you give, the more people will become homeless. If you give a person a free lunch, the more likely they're going to, become, get another free lunch. So that's just human nature, unfortunately. And if we see here, rate of homelessness per 100,000 people by county in California, so California has a higher average than the U.S. average, and Tuolumne County has a higher California average, and the blue is below the U.S. national average, so that's the best. So the blue counties are the best when it comes to homelessness. So the big question is what is Tuolumne County doing differently from these blue counties? Do they have less government welfare spending? Or these have different policies? That's something that we should look into, in my opinion. And then we see, counties in the red like Los Angeles County, San Francisco right here, which is really small. And one thing that Tuolumne County is doing right now, I believe they're building 80 or so homeless houses in Jamestown, which is going to increase the homeless rate, in my opinion, because if you give someone a free house, free food there, which they're also going to give, free electricity, and water, that's probably going to increase the homeless rate in Tuolumne County, and we're going to be putting more, benefits for them, and then the taxpayer amount of people will shrink, and the homeless people will increase. And actually, I saw, in states like Tennessee and the small towns, they have, really small towns in Tennessee, kind of like Sonora and Tuolumne County, and I didn't see any homeless in those towns at all. Just as used as one instance. And that's something really important to know. I think most of the people who are homeless in Tennessee live in the Memphis area. So that really just showed, the differences between California and Tennessee, because in most of these states, usually it's only in the big cities where there's homeless people. But, in California, it's even in the rural neighborhoods, as you can see from this. And, we really see that, on a day-to-day basis, unfortunately. It says less than 10% of adults who are experience homelessness are employed. So I think, if they really wanted to, help the homelessness problem, they would probably try to help the homeless people actually get jobs instead of giving them money not to work. like maybe they can give them like a little extra money if they get a job or something, even though maybe that idea is a bad idea too. Also, because maybe less government involvement is best, in my opinion. And ever since Lyndon Baines Johnson's war on poverty, the Great Society, the homeless problem has only been getting worse. Say in 1950s, where there was less welfare spending, I believe there was less homelessness as a whole compared to now. And that's really a major issue, and I think it needs to be discussed. I think what needs to happen in Tuolumne County and every county is that they need to get rid of the homeless department, and they only need to give money to people who really need it, because there's plenty of jobs available for people to get. There's people hiring all the time, and they can't even get the amount of workers. And I think that's one important thing to note. And even if there was no jobs, one thing that FDR did, which, I don't necessarily agree with, but it's better than just giving, them a free house and free everything, is that he actually had these programs, for people to make bridges, and stuff like that. If they couldn't get a job, which during the Great Depression, they really couldn't get a job in some cases. So that's one thing that he did. And that would be a whole lot better than just giving them, free house, free this, even though that idea may be bad also. So I just wanted to make a video on this. And I'm really saddened that the Board of Supervisors sees it fit to spend, a lot of money on this homeless housing. And, it's really going to affect the town of Jamestown and Tuolumne County. And it's really just a bad idea. So I just would like to say thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to join the California Freedom Alliance, please email me at californiafreedomalliance@gmail.com. I would really appreciate that. We're actively looking for good people to run for office, so we can definitely talk to you and see, some of the reasons why you want to run for office, and then we'll support you, whether we like, what you stand for. And and also please join us by emailing me. And you can also join us on Facebook at californiafreedomalliance@gmail.com. So thanks again for watching this video. I hope you have a good day. God bless. Thank you.